Let's grow some food. This is Dr. Fox with the extended lesson 1, growing Fabaceae, otherwise known as legumes. Unlike Solanaceae, there aren't a lot of members of the legume family, peas and beans, but what it lacks in membership, it more than makes up for in variety. Let's start with peas. There are 3 main types of peas. There is shelling peas, snap peas, and then snow peas. So let's talk about what those mean. If you buy peas in the store that are canned or frozen, those come from shelling peas. The pod itself isn't edible, it's tough. With snap peas, on the other hand, the pod is kind of the point. You usually pick them before the pea itself gets very large, and they're very sweet and crunchy and lovely. Same is true of snow peas, but snow peas have a tendency to be very flat, and they aren't sweet like snap peas. Most peas are climbing peas, so you need to provide a structure for them to grow on. I use nets strung on PVC. If it were beans, we'd call them pole beans, but they don't refer to peas as pole peas. There are a few varieties of peas that are bush in habit, and then there are also a few that say self-supporting and they have tendrils that hold on to one another. Peas are a cool weather vegetable, which means you plant them in the early spring, and if you have a late frost, it won't bother the pea plants at all. If you have a decent growing season in length, you can actually plant peas in the spring and then again in the fall. Beans, on the other hand, require heat in order to grow. They will die if there's a frost. There are 2 main habits of beans. There are the pole beans and then there are the bush beans. This is similar to how we spoke about the tomato plants, where there are determinate and indeterminate types. With beans, a bush bean has a tendency to bloom kind of all at once, and then you get your harvest of beans kind of all at once. With pole beans, they're going to get pretty tall quickly, but then as they start blossoming, they also continue to grow, continue to blossom, so you get a longer period of time with which you're actually getting beans off the plant. There are different body types of the bean itself. There are the snap beans, which are pretty standard. There are the fillet types, which are very, very skinny. And then there are the Romano types that are flatter and fatter. And then, of course, there are the dried beans. As you can see, there are different colors of beans. Don't be disappointed, though, the purple ones turn green when you cook them. Dry beans require, a fair amount of processing time, and so I had never done it until a couple of years ago. But let me tell you, I grew some of these silver clouds, and I have never ever had a better dried bean than the ones homegrown. That's it for the fundamentals of legumes, otherwise known as Fabaceae. Make sure to check out the other videos from lesson 1 of the other families. Let's grow some food.